Hey shooters, this is James and I'm back with another episode of Shooters Resource Channel. Today we're going to be looking at the Rock Island STK100. These are my first shots through it. Let's see how it does. All right, this is the STK100 from Rock Island Arms, who is owned by Armscor, if you're more familiar with that manufacturer. Now, this is my first Rock Island, as I had mentioned in the intro, and while it's a great gun in terms of aesthetics and in terms of performance when it comes to accuracy and the ability to run the gun fast, but in terms of reliability, this was a problematic gun for me. And I don't know that I'm going to be keeping it because of that. But let's talk a little bit about the gun first before we get into reliability. So what's really cool about this is it's got an aluminum receiver, which adds a little weight and rigidity to the firearm. I do like all metal guns. And with this being a Glock Gen 3 clone, it's cool to have a Glock that's all metal. I would say the best feature of this gun is the trigger. The trigger compared to the regular Glock is definitely lighter. To me, it's even more crisp. It's more tactile, and the reset is perfect. So I couldn't ask for a better trigger on this gun. It really is, kind of the best part of the gun, and definitely better than a stock Glock trigger. This is, to me, very similar to some aftermarket triggers that I've used. So they definitely hit a home run there. Now let's look at the aesthetics a little bit. It's really cool that they added these lightning cuts to the slide, which causes the slide to be lightened, which is why it's called lightning cuts. And the serrations on the slide are very grippy, very easy to grip. The controls are very similar to the Glock 17, which this is a clone of for Gen 3. The magazine release, easy to get to, works very well. The slide release is very similar to what you would find on a Glock 34. So it does have a slight embossment there to make it a little easier to get to. You can see there that the mag's in all the way, but that slide's a little tight. It might need a little bit of greasing or whatever, but the slide didn't lock in all the way. So let's try that again. So on that one right there, I had a failure to eject. The last round it caught, and that was using a Glock mag from Austria. It's an actual Glock mag. And the round, it actually stovepiped the last piece of brass. So let's try it again with another reload and see if we can get it right this time. The sights are very nice. The sights have a very thin front post, and the rear sight, and I don't know why they did this, but it is incorporated on the optics plate there. So when you take this optics plate off to mount an optic, you're going to find that you can't really co-witness because, obviously the rear sight's coming off with it. Now, I guess you could use maybe a Delta Point Pro or something like that. But, this gun isn't cut for that optic. When it comes to ergonomics, I found the gun to be very ergonomic. And what's cool about this aluminum framed gun is they have a 1911 grip angle while still accepting Glock mags. So that's really cool that they didn't have to change the mag. It does come with one mag that, is an aftermarket mag. I think that I've heard it's made in Korea or whatnot. I typically don't trust these. I didn't have any mag related failures that I could determine from this mag today. But it definitely wouldn't be something I'd carry for duty. If you're like me, you probably have a lot of Glock 17 mags, or you can find them very easily. And I would recommend getting a couple of those for concealed carry, competition, or duty use. But yeah, the ergonomics are really good. The trigger guard here is kind of rounded in the front versus the traditional Glock pattern. I don't have a problem with that. I typically don't grip out in front because I'm accustomed to running flashlights. So my hand's just pretty much right here, and I'm able to manage recoil very well. The grip texture isn't great on the gun. It's really good on the side panels, but on the back strap, they've got these serrations that are kind of more, to me, aesthetic than functional, and the same on the front. But again, I didn't find the gun slipping out of my hand, and we were in 90+ degree weather. I was sweating really bad while filming this video. But I didn't have any problems with keeping a hold of the gun. It shot very well. It shot very fast. The beaver tail here helped. It felt really good and comfortable on the web of my hand here, and it really helped mitigate recoil. So this gun being, I think it's 1.8 pounds per the website, but I think that equates to, let's see, about 29 ounces. Which is really good. I like a 30-ounce gun. That's a perfect balance for me in 9mm to help mitigate recoil, but still be able to carry it very easily. All right, next up I'm going to try a little rapid fire. Let's run some 5-shot strings and we'll see how it tracks. Make sure there's no bobbles. Again, I haven't cleaned or lubed this gun. This is just right out of the box. That was 6 shots in 2.5 seconds. That was 5 shots in 2.3 seconds. It does have a 1913 rail here, and that rail works fine. I did find when I tried to run my flashlight on here, my Streamlight, that at this setting here, I have quite a gap there. I like to have that a little closer. But when I can't get into the next setting, so maybe I can change out this plate here and get there. But just something I noticed. That might not be fault of the gun. That might just be the little insert here for the TRL1. But it doesn't have a problem on my regular Glocks. And that is the Glock insert. So either way, it still works fine. If you want to run a flashlight on this gun, you can. I had a lot of you reach out and express your disgust in my hatred against Diet Coke. And I want to tell you right now, we don't discriminate on this channel. So today, we're going to be taking out some Diet Pepsi. And we want to see, is the STK100 accurate enough to shoot these at a pretty rapid pace? Plus, will it continue to have failure to feed or ejection problems like we've been seeing? So again, I love the aesthetics of this gun. I love the weight. I love the 1911 grip angle. The trigger is amazing in this gun. Takedown is the same as a regular Glock. They really hit the nail on the head on everything on this pistol. But, you know, again, the downfall is the reliability. So I'm probably not going to end up keeping this gun because of that, because I don't like to have a gun that isn't accurate, doesn't perform, and isn't reliable. And so this gun let me down big time in the reliability department. Not only did it struggle with just 150 rounds of ammo, I did not clean the gun, I did not lube the gun, but I almost never do. I actually shot, and I'll come out with this video next week, a Beretta 92X that also wasn't cleaned or anything. I didn't have a single hiccup out of it, and that's just what I expect out of a gun. And this gun had probably close to about 5 failures, and they were all related to failures to extract or failures to feed. Mainly failures to extract properly, like stovepipes, or I even had one piece of brass that got lodged in the barrel. It didn't extract all the way. And, you know, none of them were, you know, problematic to the gun, but definitely not anything you would want to encounter when you are trying to use this gun for self-defense or even for competition. I also ran kind of what I would consider, it looked to be a little extreme in terms of a reliability test. I ran with water as well as with red clay, and the water was fine. The gun did well with the water, but the red clay shut it down pretty quick. Now I did, as a control, use the Glock 19, my Glock 19M. Here, I'll bring that into view now. So I used this Glock 19M. You can see it's still wet because I kind of hosed it off in the shower. But the Glock 19M didn't survive the red clay test neither. It did at first. The first round through it did, but I ran it a second time just to be sure. And on the second one, it ended up getting too much crud. Now I will say though, the difference is that the Glock 19, once I hosed it, once I got home, I was soaked because it was, again, 90-something degrees outside. So I got in the shower with these two guns and cleaned them off because they were just caked. And the Glock 19, just in the shower after getting, you know, I took the slide off, let some water get down in there, and this gun started functioning immediately afterwards. So it got back into function. For the STK100, I had to completely take this gun apart and clean it all out. I did not find any major like deposits, but the trigger just would not function. I didn't find any major deposits of like the red clay or anything in it, but I had to take it all the way apart, completely oil and clean this gun, you know. And so once I did that, now it's back to functioning. I mean, it's 100%. But I just wanted to give you guys, you know, a transparent review. Maybe I didn't get a good one here. I'll give Rock Island the benefit of the doubt that maybe I got a lemon, but it's very possible that this is just the level of reliability to be expected. And I did see a couple other reviews where they got a few stovepipes during the initial shooting. So you might want to search around a little bit and look at some of the other reviews and see, you know, see if they had any challenges with it. But I definitely did. I had 5, and those all were prior to the reliability test. So about 5 failures with this gun out of 150 rounds, which isn't very good at all. All right, go ahead, bud.
All right, ready?
Got some brass? How'd you like it?
A lot.
Pretty nice?
Yeah, actually, if I could run this again, I like it. A lot of fun.
All right, next up, shooters, we're going to be taking the STK100 and we're going to try a little bit of a torture or a reliability test on it. We're going to first dunk the gun in water. It's got the original Korean magazine that came with it. And then we're going to dunk it in Georgia red clay. So it's pretty nasty stuff. I don't have any sand today, and I believe that, you know, sand would be a really good reliability test. However, as I mentioned, I just don't have any. So we'll see, can it hold up and be reliable through the water test and the red clay test. Oh, and by the way, I'm also going to be comparing it to my Glock 19M that I recently did a review on. All right, first up, we're going to do the Glock 19M as a control. So this is a gun that I carry often. It's one that I trust. Let's see how it does in the water test. Dunk it in there. All right, take it out. Shake it off a little bit like you would if you really had it. Shoots perfectly fine. Next up, let's try the STK. Put a round in the chamber, stick it in the water, let all the bubbles come out of it, just like we did with the Glock. All right, take it out, shake it off like you would if you dropped it in a creek, and looks like it held up pretty good. Okay, next up, we're going to do the mud test. So let's take a good look at that. First, we'll do the Glock. This is that Georgia red clay I talked about. We'll put it in there, turn it around. There it is. Oh, I dropped it in the creek. Let's shake it off. Make sure there's no barrel obstructions. And let's give it a shot. Glock 19 held up really well. All right, let's try the STK. All right, dropped it in the creek. Man, that thing's dirty. Shake it off. All right. Oh. The trigger's locking up on me. Yeah, trigger's dead. Doesn't work. Let's take out the mag. The slide is all, yeah. Some of that got into the striker assembly. So it looks like the STK was not able to handle this red clay test that I just did. Let's see if the Glock's still shooting. Here's the Glock. Let's give her another bath. All right. Nope, that was it for the Glock too. Oh, I see, I see. So, even the Glock's having trouble with the red clay. However, it did shoot at first. Let's take it out. Take the round out. Nope, even it, the second bath done it in. So that's a pretty tough test. Apparently, maybe it's a little too rough. I'll say that the mud test is not conclusive, at least the red clay test. Neither gun seemed to work. The trigger's still locked on this one. So I have to take it home and clean it, and we'll see what's going on with it. But would I trust the STK100 with my life? The answer is no. The big thing really is not necessarily due to the red clay test, which we know now if you drop your gun in red clay, you're in trouble, at least if it's a striker fire pistol. We hadn't tried any other things.
but mainly due to the failures to feed, the failure to extracts that I ran into while just running 150 rounds through the STK today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode on the Shooter's Resource channel. The STK100, it's a great gun in terms of accuracy, in terms of performance. I'm able to run it really fast, but reliability department, it might be coming up a little bit short.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is one of the first videos where I actually had to give some negative feedback on some major negative feedback on a firearm. I really wanted this gun to perform. It's a great looking gun. It shoots very well. It's very accurate. If we could fix, or if Armscor Rock Island could fix the reliability challenges with this, I think that they got a winner here. This is a great gun. If you guys haven't already, take a second, hit that like and subscribe button. If you want to be notified every time we release a video, then also hit the bell notification. And as always, thank you all and God bless.